Good morning, everyone. I'm your host, Sachi, and welcome to AI Minute Mondays. Today, we are diving into a problem that's exploding across all organizations. As more and more companies race to adopt AI and deploy AI agents across teams, tools, and workflows, the real challenge is not about building these agents, but it's about managing them. And what we are seeing is that it's becoming even more difficult to coordinate across these agents and to ensure that they don't conflict or duplicate tasks or even go off task. So, joining me today is Michael Brown, who's built a platform that does exactly that. Uh, Arachne is an agent management layer that brings order to the chaos of the AI workforce. So, Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. And for the sake of our viewers, if you can share a little bit about your background, that'd be great.
Will do. Thanks for having me, Suchi. I've been watching your show for a while, and it's been a lot of insight given by a lot of people. So my background, I've been in the tech industry for 30 years. Started in help desk and network administration, and then moved into software, which was always my passion. The last, well, for 6 of the last 7 years, I was at Microsoft, where I was on the what would become known in the industry as the forward deploy engineer. Basically, we would go into customers and help them integrate our platform, starting with just the cloud, to implement their solutions on our cloud platform. And then in 23, as AI exploded, we moved toward um, including large data integrations as well as interpreting them with AI. After that, after I left Microsoft, I uh, started working on my own thing, and actually, Arachne came out of my own need. I was building an AI solution for um, an AI productivity coach. And I said I needed something to like give observability, give management, and other things like that. I researched the existing platforms and I said, or I can build it myself. And I realized that was actually a product in and of itself.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Michael. Which leads us on to the next question, which is as we see all of these different agents being deployed and used across organizations, what are the typical challenges that most organizations face, and why do we have this need for an agent management layer?
Well, so you can talk about two levels of organizations. You have your startup, you're an entrepreneur who wants to integrate AI, and what you don't know can hurt you. Like beyond just getting a good prompt in there and getting good results from the prompt. You have to look at what you mentioned, what we call drift detection. Like is the prompt continuously doing the work that we expect it to? We want observability. We want to watch cost. At the enterprise level layer, I put in my initial discussion, I was talking about a small medium business, but was calling it an enterprise. Like a small medium business might have around 50 to 100 agents, but
Mhm.
they're all under different projects and under different categories and aren't necessarily managed well. But at the large enterprise, I spoke with one gentleman who his enterprise has over 36,000 agents.
Wow.
And how do you make sense of all of that? I said specifically that Arachne helps you bring uh, order to the chaos, because those agents might be on different platforms using different frameworks. And in order to see what the results are and what the ROI is, you have to go across um, multiple platforms to see, okay,
Mhm.
what are they charging us? What are we using? What's the what's the outcomes of these agents? Are they just there or are they actually driving results? And that's one thing that Arachne does is it brings all of that under one pane of glass.
Thank you. So that is super important. Like you said, an organization may have different agents built on different platforms, and all of these are running in parallel, but you don't know what's happening. So you
Right.
need that control. You need to bring order to the chaos, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So thank you for that description. I come to the second part of my question, which is basically where when an organization needs to go ahead and adopt an agent management layer, that's not easy as well. There are
No.
several challenges to that.
Mm.
So, what do you see are the biggest challenges that organizations need to address, and how do you basically overcome them? And how does a platform like Erecni make it easier for organizations to overcome these challenges?
Yes, yes. So, what I saw with the other platforms is that in order, like a lot of the observability or what they call governance platforms, require you to go to your agents and point them at their gateway. Arachne addresses this head on by you can deploy it internally as a proxy. So all of the data flows through that, and it can look for the telltale signs of a agent call and bring it into the framework without any changes to code. So again, when you have 36,000 agents, you're not going to go one by one and say, okay, well, but point it at this platform. And then, we also address the fact that like in many industries, they don't want their data to leave their environment.
Hmm.
And so we deploy internally and are able to provide that observability and governance without changing code or leaving your network.
Thank you. So, like you said, even when deploying an agent management layer, when you have lots of agents, you need to kind of make sure that there's minimal intrusion, that it's
Right,
easy to bring in an agent management layer without needing to go ahead and change each and every one of your agents.
right,
And the second more important point that you mentioned, I think this is something that's critical for all of the enterprise customers that we've been talking to, is about trust and safety
right,
and making sure that the data remains within the organization and they don't want to kind of give out the data. And not just for enterprises, if you look at any company, their data is the true moat. And that's
right.
something they don't want to kind of share. And that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
So thank you, Michael, for sharing these thoughts with us and with our viewers. And it's been great to have you on the show. And for our viewers, if you want more details about Arachne, Michael will share the link in the comments, and you can feel free to reach out to him if you're interested in testing it out or trying it out.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll share that information.
Thank you so much. So glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.